Ah! It's the D-pad.
Is it?
It is. This is the stone of creation's beginning, the origin ore. It had nothing to do with plates. Yes, one can certainly feel an imposing aura emanating from it. Could this be the feeling of the very origin itself? So the Master Ball is going to be made out of...
original feeling?
Oh. Going to make a Master Ball out of rocks and gems.
I mean, you've been making balls out of rocks and fruit this whole time.
I guess it's been tumblestone, right? Yeah, so this isn't that far off.
Yeah, you use
and even that is ore, really.
And a fruit. You use ore and apricorn.
We're going to Jubilee Village? We got a crafting bench right there. God damn it.
We're going to change something on the world map.
Yeah, probably, yeah. Here you are, Professor Lavington. What remains of the red chain, broken as it may be. Oshawott having a good time. Splendid. Even in pieces, I think we'll find it still perfectly fit for the purpose. We're jolly lucky you had the foresight to pick up all these broken bits back at the temple. Is it going to look like a red crystalline thing for some reason? You're up next, Joanne. Time for whatever we're calling that stone.
Origin ore.
Mm-hmm. And now we're going to destroy it, so it doesn't even matter. The fragments of the red chain collected at great personal risk by the Pearl clan. Then the stone of creation's beginning, which we first learned of thanks to the Diamond clan. And now it's time for the Galaxy team to play its part and turn these items into a proper vessel. Oh, that is a nice little spirit of togetherness kind of thing there. Ray, my boy, you are one of our team's greatest craftspeople. He is. Can I ask you to do the honors? Finally, time for me to do something. Just wait, Joanne. You'll finally see what I'm truly capable of.
Yep, you nailed it.
God damn it. This may take us some time. Perhaps the rest of you had best wait outside while we work. We'll be finished approximately.
Later.
Yeah. We'll be done either in 5 seconds or when you've found everything there is to find in the world. Come on, Mr. Professor. I wish they'd hurried up in there. I'm starting to suspect all of your prattling about the value of time is a cover for your own impatience. If sitting back and waiting actually solved things, I'd sit forever, because that'd be using time well, unlike this. What the fuck? He hears the voice of God, and he suddenly is too good for sitting around for a couple minutes. Oh my god, he's running.
It's complete!
The Origin Ball. All right. If the message conveyed to our good clan leader can be believed, then this should allow you to catch the Pokemon that has appeared at the Temple of Sinnoh. All right.
Here you go.
It's a red crystal ball. Had it right. A singular and irreplaceable Pokeball that can be used to catch the frenzied Pokemon raging at the Temple of Sinnoh.
Is it a dodecahedron?
Not quite. It's got hexagons and pentagons, so it's more of a soccer ball.
Oh, it's a soccer ball.
Yeah, buckyball, soccer ball. There is a name for that. I want to say it's a truncated icosahedron.
Is that one a truncated icosahedron?
I believe it is. I may be wrong, but I think that is correct. Because
a regular icosahedron has 20 triangles.
Triangular ones, yep. So the hexagons on there, there's 5 that encircle that pentagon.
Yep.
There's 5 more that are connected to each of those 5, and then that's the mirror point, where on the other side it's the exact opposite. So those pentagons are where you chop off a 5-sided pyramid at each vertex there.
Right.
So I believe this is a truncated icosahedron. I think the fate of all Hisui could rest in something so tiny. I mean, it's the size of your brain. It's not that tiny. It's actually maybe a bit bigger than your brain. It's about the size of your skull. It's interesting how catching a Pokemon in one of these things brings the two of you closer together. We have to find a way to sidestep the awkwardness of collecting wild animals like this.
It's that voice. I hear it in my head again.
Wah. You mean Dialga? Yeah. You can call me Joan. Seems like Mighty Dialga is willing to lend its strength to this fight. That's what it's telling me. I mean, I could have literally used it on any fight before now, I think. Or maybe I throw it out and it's like, Dialga doesn't listen to you.
Your star level determines that.
That's true. I don't know if my star level's high enough. So maybe that's the idea, is like, actually, yeah, no, I don't think it's high enough for 65. I don't know. I have Pokemon in the upper 50s though, into 60s, so I don't know. Everything's ready now, Joanne. Take the Origin Ball and hurry back to the Temple of Sinnoh together with Dialga.
Via cutscene fade. Oh, no.
All right. It doesn't say. I was like, it'll say what star member I am, but it won't tell me what I can go up to.
I think it says it on your ID card.
That's why I'm like,
80
level
and below.
80. Okay, yeah. And you have to be at least a 5-star member to even get to the end of the game anyway.
Right, which is level 70. So
Yeah.
that makes sense that they want to make sure that you can control Pokemon up to level 70 before they hand you a level 65
exactly, yeah.
that you need to have for
Oh.
plot. Blackboard?
Yep. The Clefairy's Moonlit Dance. A stare from the supply corps said he'd like us to look into something about the habits of Clefairy. Found more about him from the... Yep, okay.
You're going to go talk to him, and he's going to be like, show me a completed
Yeah.
Pokédex entry.
Gully of the Supply Corps has requested help. Something to do with saying about Nose Pass. Okay. Watering with care. It's a Sudowoodo at the Bogbound camp that seems to be feeling rather poorly. Odo, one of the chaps in the village, is doing his best to treat it, but he could use a bit of help.
It's not a tree.
That
Stop
looks...
pouring water
Can we
on
talk
it.
about how totally wrong the centering is here? Look at request 36.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck happened there?
It's like
What the fuck happened there?
a space or two on the left of the word request.
Yeah. None of the others have done this, as far as I've been aware, but that, like, it's so much that I could not notice that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like bothering me so much. Okay. Anyway. That was weird. I didn't like that. It's going to do the same thing when it's marked complete, too.
Probably. Maybe some of them have white space characters at the front that they didn't properly get deleted, and that's why the sorting gets all fucked up.
Maybe. Oh my god, how fucking sad would that be if that's the actual reason that's been so fucked up this whole time? Oh hey, it's Lady Face.
Kojita.
That's the one. Hello. I think this one was you?
And here you are, lost one, ready to face your fate atop Mount Coronet.
How did you get here?
It seems a vicious battle might await you.
Go where I must.
Are you confident or nervous?
Yeah.
Now, hearken to my
Ooh.
words, young ones. Time cannot be severed from space, nor space from time.
They are one and the same.
Yes. The being you will encounter at the Temple of Sinnoh is Palkia, ruler of all space.
I didn't elect him.
If it is allowed to run wild, space itself will warp and bend here in Hisui, and eventually the very world may be broken.
I love that despite this being a singular game, just they arbitrarily right at the start of the third act make you decide which version you're playing.
Yeah.
Like for like the last like 5 hours of the main plot.
Oh, by the way, are you playing Diamond or Pearl?
Yeah, I like god damn it. Platinum.
But you have the... No, you can't pick that.
Yeah.
But you have the aid of its counterpart, Dialga, the ruler of time. And therein lies hope. Balance will be brought to time and space, and the world can once again be as it should. Now take Dialga at your side and make for the Temple of Sinnoh once more.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Float, 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 float. Oh, he's got feet, but... I must say, this is quite the intriguing village. Perhaps I'll have a look around before I go.
Does she also look a little bit like Cynthia? Like maybe a tiny bit.
See what your clothier has on offer.
We're gonna come back and she's gonna be wearing like blue jeans and a fucking t-shirt.
That would be funny.
That'd be great. I'm expecting she'll be in slightly more traditional and less exaggerated outfit when we next see her, if that's a serious thing. Oh my god. Fair point. I guess you can't shop if the world ends. She's got
Might as well
grapes on
shop
her head.
before.
Yeah. She did have like a little grape cluster thing on her head. If she's not someone who matters in Diamond and Pearl or related to anyone who matters in Diamond and Pearl, it would be super hilarious if that ties in at all to the Scarlet Violet fucking Blueberry disc fucking DLC there.
That could have been an interesting little like bit of design work that they dropped for this game, just as a lead-in for that.
Right,
They were parallel development, right?
well, so like
I mean, different studios, but
both Resident Evil and Star Wars, when they were actively pumping out movies, were tending to do things where like, even though Star Wars I think is the better example of it. When the sequel trilogy came out, they had oh god, whatever the fuck the first one was called, The Force Awakens.
Yep.
And then they had, what was the side one that they did then? They did Rogue One.
Rogue One, yeah, which
then
is movie 3.5.
Yes.
Or 3.9, really.
Yeah, it's literally like 3.99, like comes in immediately before.
You can actually just play them back to back for a seamless camera pan, basically.
Oh, that's right, because the last thing you see is literally a shot that pairs directly into the sweeping open shot of A New Hope.
Yes.
But so, Rogue One, when they're stealing the files, one of the data files that they discover talks about oh god, it was either a lightspeed drive or like the ability to essentially steer in lightspeed or something, like sub. It was something to do with like controlling how you move during like lightspeed like warps, essentially, like Star Trek warps. Which was kind of like an odd thing to like focus on for that. Though granted, in later Star Wars movies, they can do jumps at hyperspeed or what have you. But so then when Episode 8 came out, the big dramatic shot of it was them coming up with shielding that they could use at lightspeed or something like that. The big dramatic moment of Episode 8, The Last Jedi, involved someone taking one of the rebellion ships and charging it at lightspeed through essentially the Imperial ships or their equivalent, what have you.
Yes, I recall that shattering explosion sacrifice.
Legitimately one of the most fucking outstanding looking shots.
Yeah. No, like
I've ever seen.
I would love just like a poster of a like frame grab or you know.
Super, super good. Just picking up some medicinal leeks while we're here.
Might as well. There's
a bunch of them sitting around.
Million of them around.
But then in Episode 8, I think it's the like casino area that they go to, winds up being a location that gets used in the next movie that came out, which is Solo. And I think Solo also had... Oh, Solo brought back, was it Lando? I mean, he was younger.
Right.
But he was there, and then older Lando comes back for Episode 9. So, like, they have this, like, neat through line where even though these movies are taking place decades apart, there's like a piece of one movie that actually does tie into the next movie to get released.
Yeah. I mean,
and it would be neat if Pokemon kind of did the same. Where like little bits and pieces of like, okay, we're doing Pokemon Legends Arceus, but also we're about to re-release or we're about to remake. We're gonna do Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. Takes place in the same region.
Yep.
And we're also doing Scarlet Violet, which is overseas. Like, let's try and find some clever little ways to tie those together in like a slightly more meaningful way, just for the sake of like, ooh, what the fuck?
It's just foggy.
Yeah.
But the glow from the sky makes fog effects look green.
But yeah, I don't know. I would find it neat if they.
It would definitely be very neat if they were doing something like that.
Right.
Like.
I can make Dialga
did Disney
dig for
do
me.
a great job with 7, 8, and 9? They probably should have kept it to one director instead of playing flip-flop.
Like, I don't have a huge...
But
I still haven't seen 9. I also don't have a huge problem with 8.
Right.
I think 8 was generally fine. I do understand and agree with the complaints that, like, it feels a little meandering and confused because it keeps changing storylines,
right.
essentially.
Well, because the storyline has a little bit of a knee-jerk... like a 180, or not a 180, but you know, like a hard turn from how they were seeming like it was going in 7 to how it is going in 8. But then in 9, it basically goes, nah, we're going back to the way I wanted it.
Yeah, and it's like, if anything...
But that doesn't work anymore because we didn't do your 8.
Right, which, like, it feels like they essentially made a trilogy where by the time you get to the third one, you have to just pretend that that there's a version of 8 that actually happened that wasn't the actual 8. And it's like, that's dumb. Also, I am one of the people who thought that the idea of Rey being just nobody was great. it fits so well with the mythos of Star Wars, of like the notion, or at least the intended notion, that like just anybody can make a difference and be a hero kind of thing.
Right.
Even though ultimately Luke Skywalker is the son of, like that
of the Force-born child.
Yeah. It was a more meaningful connection to the original Star Wars before they trilogized that too.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I thought
because Luke is Jesus's baby.
Yes. Yep. Jesus' baby. If Jesus made some mistakes right at the end there.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I liked the idea that she's searching to find the truth of her parents. That there's some special thing, and it's just like, nah, you're just the kid.
A nobody.
Yeah. Your parents are drunks. Your parents were drunks. Yeah, your parents were drunk, and they sold you, and they died. That's it. That's the story of you. And it's like, oof. Yep. And then I know
but
enough.
You have the all Jedi power in you. So
yeah.
There you go.
It's like you just happen to, everyone's got a piece of it, and you just figure it out. You just tapped into it just right. Meanwhile, like, I know just enough of 9 to know the spoilers related to that, where it's like, oh, so fuck that cool idea, I guess. Like, god damn it. Should we come back next time and do what we're about to do?
Yes.
Okay. Bye.